Welcome to another episode of the Elevated Barbers Podcast. My name is Bradford Kelly. I am the owner of Another Level of Barbering and the proud co-host of the one, the only Elevated Barbers Podcast. And I'm here with my friend, I don't know what else to call you. You just keep it in the friend. I'm here with...
This is Delmar, aka The Prince, owner of Royal Luxe Grooming and the co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, man. So today we are going to have a very good episode for you today. I'm looking forward to this one because this is going to help us close out the year. I mean, we only have a few more weeks in 2023, and season 2, we have brought you all a lot of big time guests, but a lot of what the big time guests have done this year has been successful and have achieved things in this year that they were trying to do. And we got a few more weeks left. But how do you plan for 2024? And so that's what we're going to talk about today, is some of the things that we've been able to achieve, that we're happy that we were able to do. And then also some of the things that we feel is good for barbers just to think about. We've been in the industry now for, my God, you're a granddad in this regard. Delmar, you're a granddaddy in the barber game. But we've been in this industry for a while, and we kind of know how to, prepare ourselves for the next year. And sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's actually physically having to do certain things. But the new year is a fresh start for a lot of people, Delmar. So what do you think about 2024 and just like the mental preparation that we can have as barber and beauty professionals? Let's kick it off with what you think about the mental side.
I feel like every time you go into a new year, I know for me, I've always set goals for that year, especially when it comes to income and how much I want to make. Mm-hmm. And I strive to hit that goal every year. I think it's good for people to keep track of the amount of money that they make year to year, so that they can know, exactly where they at. And then you can average it out over the years and see, if you plateaued, what can you do to maybe change that so that you can keep elevating, or, is this it? Do you want to do something else? Do you want to move into a different direction? But I'm always setting goals, man. Like, I know this coming year, I want to add on to my clientele, and I also have a number in my mind that I want to hit when it comes to income. Yeah. I'm close to hitting it this year. I don't know if I'm gonna hit it. I might be a tad bit off. Every year I get closer and closer to it since I've been in the industry. But if I don't hit it this year, it's all right. I'll be a little bit disappointed, but that just means I got to go harder next year to try to hit that goal. What about you?
No, I agree, man. I think that going into the new year, you always are thinking about how can you do better, right? How can you level up? How can you grow? How can you mature? How can you exceed what you've done this year? And so for me, it's the same. One of the things that I'm looking forward to in 2024 is the launch of my program, the Level Up Barber program. The Level Up program for barber and beauty professionals.
Wait, pause. We're not about to just skip over that like it's just something casual. Like, kudos to you. I know how long you've been working on this project, man. So to see that you finally about to get it off the ground, that's very special. Yeah,
I'm very, very excited about that. I'm still doing some last minute touches so that it can be everything that a barber or beauty professional would need. But it's something that I've like you said, I've been working on for a couple years now. It's not something like I just thought about this one day. It was just like, you know what? I want to teach somebody something. Right. It's been a while. It's been in the making for some time. And for those that take advantage of it, I do think that it's going to be a huge benefit, especially people like yourself, where you're trying to get to certain goals. You're trying to hit certain marks when it comes to income. You're trying to grow. All of that stuff. It takes a little bit for you to be able to do it. You don't just do it by happenstance. And so me being able to launch this program and assist a lot of barbers that are trying to grow, like they're hungry, they're still trying to grow, especially if they're busy. I just remember being in that scenario. I'm still in that scenario where I'm still trying to grow. And so I'm always trying to level up. So that's what, I'm excited about for 2024. And one thing that I would encourage all barbers to think about when it comes to going into a new year, I think one of the biggest things that you can do is to pay attention to your frustrations that you currently have. Really, really, really look at what makes you frustrated about this industry. Look at what makes you frustrated about your day-to-day operations. Look at what makes you frustrated about your client interactions. Look at what makes you frustrated about how much money you're making. Like, what makes you frustrated about it? What are you trying to do? Because when you can start to identify your frustrations and really hone in on them, then that's the foundation for you being able to change. So that's one thing that I would say for the barber and the beauty professionals is don't just go into the new year blindly accepting the things that you don't like about what's going on in the industry. Actually take the time at the end of this year to hone in on the stuff that makes you frustrated. Write it down, put it somewhere so that you can see it. And then once you start to see it, you can start to take action so that you can actually achieve more or do different so that you don't stay in that frustrated mark. What do you think about that, D?
No, I think that's key, man, because, we do the same thing every day. It's repetition. We cut hair. So it's easy to get kind of stuck in a rut and then, get frustrated. You feel like you're not growing or, clients move. Clients pass away. That's just a reality of life. Like, things happen. Yeah. So I think it's always good to, no matter how established you are, you coming into the industry brand new, always set goals. Like, it don't matter whether you 2 months into this or if you 20 years into it, like, continue to set goals. Yeah. I know for me, eventually I want to find a way to make passive income. I've been talking about that for the last year or so. And I tried my hand at different things, but, I want to find something that's going to help me make passive income. Yeah. Cause that's key in this industry. As most of you know, we get paid per service. We don't get paid hourly. We don't have PTO, vacation time, and all that comes with the regular job. So we either have to save for that or have something in place to where you're making passive income. Yeah.
I think what you're saying is so pivotal, because if a person doesn't realize that, that's what I've been preaching for a minute. Yeah. is we have to make some passive income. It's not even optional anymore, in my opinion. We've seen the effect of not having passive income once the pandemic hit. You see the effect of not having passive income when you want to go on vacation. You see the impact of not having passive income when you get sick and you can't work. You see the impact of not having passive income, but we kind of fallen into a false sense of security with the fact that we can go and make the money quick because we're used to it. It's like, man, I just work a couple extra days, work a couple extra hours or whatever, and you'll make the money. And all of that stuff is true, but it's very limited. If your money is going to be tied to your time and to your energy, then the amount that you can make is always going to be limited. So we have to get out of that mindset of thinking that we're going to work our way into wealth. We're not going to work our way into wealth. You're not going to just fade your way into freedom. You really have to learn how to create passive income one way or the other. And that's one of the biggest things that I got a revelation of, in this industry, because I was the hard worker. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was doing. And I think the biggest thing that shook me when the pandemic hit was how fast my savings went away. Like, I was in my mind, I was loaded. Like, I was just like, I'm good, And I've never seen money leave that fast when I didn't have nothing coming in, for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And it's like, oh, like if I didn't have no passive income at that time, I would have been devastated, like completely devastated. But I had a little bit, but that made me understand the importance of growing my passive income and really thinking about financial freedom and not thinking about or not staying stuck to the chair for the way that I'm gonna make my money. Right. Now, I'm a person, I'm not sure about you, D, but me, I don't really want to get away from the chair. Like, I like what I do. I really love talking to people. I love connecting with clients. I love building relationships. I love it. The biggest thing that I don't like is the obligation to the chair. Mm-hmm. I don't like having to be behind the chair every day, every week. You know what I'm saying? Back and back and back. And there's no way for me to get away from it, because if I leave the chair, then my life is gone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's a huge point that you're bringing up about passive income, because it's necessary for us in this industry. And I think that's something that all beauty professionals should focus on, trying to do something in 2024 where you can make passive income. And passive income, well, let me ask you this, Delmar, before I just keep rambling, because I could go on and on. How would you describe passive income?
Money that correct me if I'm wrong, money that you can make without having to put in a lot of time.
Yes. So it depends, because some stuff is passive from an investment standpoint where, you put in some money into a stock or whatever, and it'll give you dividends, or you'll be able to accrue income on that. Right. So that's not any work, really. That's just you putting your money in. Another thing is building something or creating something that allows you to make money. It's a product of some sort, right? Some sort of product, which is why we feel like passive income comes in the form of retail. We'll sell our shampoos, we'll sell some do-rags, we'll sell some combs, some brushes, different things of that nature. We'll sell some shampoos, some hair gels, all kind of stuff that we will sell. And we feel like it's passive income, but it's it is, but it's not a very scalable source of passive income if you don't have a lot of money already, right. And that from experience, coming up with your own products and doing those different things. When you don't have people helping you to produce, you don't have people helping you distribute, if you don't have like the right type of packaging, all kind of stuff. And then you got to invest in the inventory behind it to even be able to go and ship. Then you got to pay the shipping costs. It's
a lot of work.
Yeah. And you could talk about it, man. You could talk about that, because that's in the perception of, the way that we see making passive income sometimes is, oh, I'm gonna need to create a product. Well, Delmar, you explain to the people what you kind of got out of creating your own products. How well did you do? And also what made you pull out?
So during the pandemic, I've always tried to create a hustle to where I can make passive income like we're talking about. Mm-hmm. So I started with the clothing brand first. That was cool. But man, with clothing, you have to spend a lot of upfront money, and then you have to keep inventory stock and then hope to sell all the inventory to make your money back and some. Yeah. And then I went away from the clothing because it just wasn't profitable to me. And then I got into hair care products, started making them from scratch at home. And then this was during the pandemic. And then once we started working in the shop again, I had orders coming through, but I couldn't keep up with the orders because I had to put in man hours to make the products. And I'm also at work 8 to 10 hours a day. Yeah. So it's like trying to find the time to do this on my off day. Now my off day turns into another work day. And then I was able to get connected with a big company in California. They started mass producing my products, really just slapping my label on their products. Mm-hmm. And that was cool. I was making money from it, but it wasn't enough to sustain me over a long period of time. Excuse me. So, I was doing that for maybe about 6-7 months. And then I just kind of got away from it. I didn't have the drive to continue to do it because, you're not going to get rich off of selling products. And then, you can get rich off of selling products, but,
Yeah.
I have to keep all this inventory in my house. I have to pay for shipping labels. And then sometimes you take a loss when you ship products and then get damaged in the process of shipping. It's a lot. So I just got tired of dealing with it, and I just shut the whole operation down.
Yeah, it's a challenge, man, when you have to create your form of passive income. But the definition of passive income literally is that you are not having to work for the income after you've put in a certain amount of work. So a lot of people do this when it comes to like real estate. They look at real estate as a form of passive income. If I can get me a property where somebody is paying me rent and once they're paying rent, is covering the mortgage. And now that the mortgage is covered, whatever profit that I'm able to make, that's passive income. I don't have to work for it. I already did the work to it, whatever. And then you have other things where it comes to like starting a business, right? You can start a business that can create passive income. Like Delmar was talking about, like some people do retail of products and different things of that nature, but there's other things that you can start that are online solutions where you don't have to physically labor as much in that at the front of it. You do a lot of work. Yeah, you do a lot of work at the front, create you a digital product, and then you can just let that live online and people can purchase whenever they purchase and you be making money in your sleep. So there's different ways to create passive income. And a lot of it is, another good one is affiliate programs. Affiliate programs are very, very big right now. And a lot of them, you don't even have to pay nothing to get them involved. You could go to like bestbuy.com. You can go to Amazon Associates. You can go to a lot of different places that you probably go and you shop at. You can go on there, scroll to the bottom, look for an affiliate program or affiliate something, and then just sign up. And then as you're selling those products, whatever, you'll get a commission for that. You could do that a lot. Like a lot of people that you see that's promoting your favorite clippers, they also give you a little code that says, hey, if you want to get 20% off or 10% off, put in my code. Well, they are an affiliate of the product that they're pushing, so that when you use their code, they get a cut of the purchase that you made. So that's affiliate marketing. And there's a lot of different options out there like that. So those are all different like little tips for passive income in 2024. Go after it some kind of way.
Yeah. And I think that's where the frustration comes in at too, because of having to be tied to the chair, not having anything extra coming in from somewhere else. You can love what you do until it becomes a job, and it becomes a job when you're stuck behind the chair, having to cut or braid or whatever it is that you do in this industry. And then when you want to take days off, well, if I take X amount of days off, then I'm potentially losing X amount of dollars. Or if I get sick and I'm out for X amount of days, then I don't have nothing coming in. I'm constantly losing money because I still got bills coming in. I still have overhead. So that's where the frustration comes in for a lot of beauty and barber professionals, is because we haven't found a way to make that passive income. But like you said, there are other things that we could do, such as affiliate marketing and creating a digital product to make that passive income.
Yeah. And that's a big thing, man, is you like passive income for us. I always talk about this in different ways. Passive income is our PTO. It's going to be our paid time off. Passive income is going to be your retirement. That'll be your retirement. And it also be your benefits when you have passive income. And I like to also say this about financial freedom, because financial freedom sounds so far fetched, man. It sounds like in the stratosphere somewhere. Like what is the financial freedom? Or you feel like you have to make like a lot of money for you to be financially free. And that's just inaccurate. Like, that's not really real. Financial freedom is literally your ability to pay your mandatory bills with passive income. Like, that's not that. If your bills ain't $150,000 a month, then, you don't need a whole bunch of money. Like,
Right.
how much are your bills? Count your bills up. And if you can count your bills up and your bills are what, $5,000, $10,000 a month, you're like, okay, well, how can I make $10,000 a month passively? Because that is going to be your financial freedom, where you're not obligated to the chair, where you could take a week off if necessary, if you wanted to, and all your bills is covered. You ain't got a trip. That's financial freedom, because now you can make, you can choose what you want to do when you want to do it with no consequences of money. However, if your financial freedom buffer is low, you want to make sure that you increase your passive income, so that way, as you work and you still have your active income or your earned income, then it can always be supported, or your earned income can just be extra on top of the passive. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal I think that a lot of us should strive for, is really, really trying to get to financial freedom. But don't let financial freedom be this thing that's so far away from you. It can be just literally as close as your mandatory bills. However much as your mandatory bills is, that's as close as your financial freedom. And you already get to a monthly point of financial freedom. Like, every month you get there if you paying your bills. Now, if you're not paying your bills, then you're struggling and you're drowning. I get it. But still try and get some passive income, because it'll help you to float. But yeah, like, I always pay attention to that. I look at my bills every month, and I'm saying, okay, my monthly point of freedom is going to be around this date, because I know how much my bills are, and then I know how much I'm making per day. And so I can count out the days and say, okay, by day 19 of working this month, I'm good. Or by day 15 of working this month, I'm good. Everything else is cake. The goal is like by 10, by day 10, I'm good, So just once you start to put your, like you talked about earlier, D, you talked about tracking your numbers, kind of knowing the numbers that you need to know so that you can really plan. That's key. That's big, man.
Yeah. I've always been a numbers guy. Like, when I first came in, now most of these apps, they send you your numbers, whether it's per day, per week, per month, per year. But I always had like a notebook, and I just wrote down every person, how much every person gave me, and I totaled it up, how much my booth rent was, so I knew how much was coming out. So I always check my numbers that way. Yeah. And then, like I said earlier, like, I always set goals. Like, okay, I made this much this month. Let's see if I can make more this month. I made this much this year. Let's see if we can top that.
Now, this is a question for you. How do you try to ensure that you can beat last month's goals? Like, how do you ensure it's going to happen?
I just make sure, well, for me, making sure my books are, like, I stay booked. So it may be me making sure, if I get somebody that come in and I know they struggle with booking, or I know how far out my books go, and be like, hey, I know you come in 2 weeks. Do you want me to check and see what I have in 2 weeks? Just make sure that they come back in, just making sure that I'm booking it myself, and I'm guaranteeing myself money for 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out. And then sometimes I might have somebody come in. I got extra time. I don't have anybody after them. And I might do an extra service on the house just so they know what this extra service does to their haircut. Yeah. And then they might start booking that service because, oh, I didn't know that this could do that, or this could make me look or feel like this. Let me start booking that. So that guarantees me, more money too. So just, little tips and tricks. Sometimes you just got to experiment, see what works for you and see what doesn't work. I've always been one to just, try things. And if it don't work, then, hey, look, I'm not doing it no more. Or I just try a different approach. But I've never been afraid to try things. You never know what can happen if you don't put yourself out there.
Yeah, you cannot let fear dictate the way that you run your business.
We don't operate in fear.
We can't, man. If you operate in fear, you're going to stay stagnant. You're going to stay stagnant, man. I like that, bro. I like that. Those were some good gems for y'all. hopefully y'all listening and we're going to take some at least mental notes, mental notes. Another thing that I would say for 2024, along with, we talked about identifying some frustration. We talked about really trying to, pay attention to creating passive income. Is Delmar mentioned it. He talked about setting goals and really making sure that as a professional that you are not just existing in this industry. Don't just exist. Don't just go to work with no measuring stick of how you can be better, do better, make more, be more personable. Build better relationships, increase your skills. Like there should be some form of a goal that you have, because when you have a goal, it literally propels you forward. It gives you purpose. It gives you a reason to do what you're doing. And that's one of the biggest ways that you can fight burnout, is having a purpose. A lot of times people get burnt out because they're doing the same things, but they also don't see results from it. They don't feel rewarded from it. They don't feel like it's worth anything anymore. They're not happy doing it. All of this kind of stuff, it can cause you to get burnt out. But if you have a goal, you can literally press through and give a lot more of yourself. When it comes to being a high achiever, you can give a lot more of yourself if you have a goal. If you don't have a goal and you're just kind of doing stuff, it's going to get repetitive. It's going to become mundane. You're going to start to get irritated with the fact that you're not making as much as you want to make. And it's not fun for you no more. So
clients feel that too.
You said what? Oh, yeah.
Your clients feel that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would definitely say that, man. Make sure that you do set some type of goals. I say set some spiritual goals in your life, set some health goals in your life, set some financial goals in your life, and set some fun goals too. You got to have fun in life, man. Don't just be sitting here all working, no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you have to really, get some fun in your life, get some time to spend with other people that you really enjoy. What do you think about that, D?
Nah, I think that's good what you're saying. Like it's you can't be all work and no play. So you gotta feel okay knowing that it's okay to take breaks every once in a while. Take a day off, take a weekend off, take a couple of days off, go take a trip, go do something. You can't get burned out just living a repetitive life, wake up, go to work, cut 7 to 12 hairs, get off, go home. Like you have to find ways to not burn out in, especially if you want to have longevity, like plan on being behind the chair, a little bit longer. I don't want to have to depend on it though. Like me and Brad talking about, like we love cutting hair. Don't get it wrong, but we don't want to have to be restricted to this is the only way that I can make money. Yeah. And, I want to be able to take those days off and be able to spend more time with my family. I do things that I love. And it's okay to do that. You don't have to be tied down to cutting, and don't let your clients make you feel bad about that either, like taking a day off. And guess what? They take days off.
Yeah, they came and got cut by you on their day off.
Yeah, on their day off. They came and got cut by you, and they going on vacation, So, it's important that we do that too. And I think sometimes, man, people feel that barbers and beauty professionals are robots. Like we don't have a life outside of the chair, outside of the shop, outside of the suite. You off? What you mean you off? You supposed to be at the shop cutting hair. Like, no, man, we got a life too. We regular people. We just, we service providers, but that doesn't mean that we can't, have fun. We can't take days off, enjoy ourselves, because you got to take care of you at the end of the day. If you don't take care of you,
you can't take care of them.
Nah, I mean, you'll have mental fatigue, you'll have physical fatigue, your health will start to decline. I talked a little bit about that on the last episode, but most importantly, you got to make sure that you take care of you and keep this thing fun. Keep this thing fun, man. Once you lose the fun out of this, you're not going to want to cut anymore.
Yeah. You're going to hate every day that you come to work. And it's going, like you said, it's going to impact the way that you deal with your clients. You're going to be answering them short. Like, hey, man, shut up today, bro. Like, bro, shut up today, bro. Today, just chill out, man.
Yeah,
I deal with your energy all the time. Yeah.
man, this ain't the
you
day.
start flashing on people, man. They be like, man, what's wrong with you today, man?
Yeah, you tripping.
Yeah. So I think that's good, man. I think that's good. Another thing that I would say for barber and beauty professionals to do is when you set goals, try to predict the obstacles that are going to come up.
That's a good one.
Anytime you set a goal, there's always going to be opposition, and it's going to most of the time come from your mind. Most of the time it's going to come from your mind on why you can't do something, why you're not good enough or whatever. It's going to be something there's going to be some type of obstacle that's going to come up, and you have to plan against those obstacles. But you have to take the time to think it through, though. You know what I mean? Think about, okay, I want to make passive income. It's just like, well, what's the biggest obstacle that's going to stand in your way? Finding something, like, you know, like you got to plan it though, you know, like, because once you start to think it through and you see the obstacles, you'll really see a lot of obstacles are overcomeable.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
That the mind is man, it's something else. I couldn't even find the words. It's something else, man.
Yeah, it is.
Like you be to try to set goals, and then your mind to be like, well, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you just got to be like, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
And this ain't too big for me to overcome.
Yeah. And you have to have some oomph about you in this industry, man. You can't let yourself punk yourself. You got to be able to stand up to yourself sometimes.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah. You know, like I'm going to do this year or this month. Sometimes we set goals that are so grand that we can't see how to get to them, and therefore we fade off. But you shouldn't have some small goals that you can accomplish within, 4 hours or something like that. You do need to set a goal that is some significance. Like you'll be proud of yourself if you achieve it. You should
challenge yourself.
Goal. Yeah. Challenge yourself so that you can get out of your comfort zone. You talk about that a lot, D. Just about getting out of your comfort zone so that you can grow. You can't grow in your comfort zone, right?
At all. You'll be stuck. You're too comfortable.
Yeah.
You stay inside those 4 walls of comfort, you'll never grow. And it's good to put yourself around people who are either like-minded or they're in a position or they're at a stage in their life to where you want to be. I know I did that. I kind of started getting stuck during the pandemic, and then I think me and you kind of reconnected, and man, you was helping me come to a higher level. Yeah, that's one thing I love about you, man. Like we're like-minded, but you have a gift with how you pull things out of people. I don't think you realize it, but you're really good at doing that. Like you could talk to people, and you can help pull the greatness out of them. I don't know how any other way to describe it, but that's just something that you've always been good at. So you started motivating me to do stuff in the pandemic. You said I motivated you, but you motivated me, man. I guess we motivated each other. Yeah,
man. I think we all have different strengths. We all have different strengths. And what you said is I'm actually honored that you would even say that. One reason why is because it actually is something that I care about doing, is trying to get the best out of other people for themselves. I think I've always been that kind of person where I always am rooting for people, whatever goals that you have in your life, whatever you're trying to achieve, I'm always going to be your biggest fan. I'm always going to be somebody that's going to push you, and I'll give you challenges to where it causes you to stay active in your own goal. I'll ask you questions. I'll present information to you. I'll give you things to consider. I'll try to be a benefit. Like you may have questions, and I'll give you answers that are from my experiences and different things, also that you can get to where you're trying to go. So I really appreciate you seeing that, because it's in my like fabric to do that. One thing that I used to tell my wife is that I can't encourage you to do something you don't want to do. It's just, that's not in me. Like I'm not the person that's going to try to convince you to do something that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
But if there's something that you want to do and you really want to achieve it, then I will push you. Like, I will help you. I will do everything in my power to allow you to be successful. And it's because I want you to succeed. Like, I really want you to get to another level. Like, I'm trying to help you level up. So that's what my mission is. That's what that's why I'm happy about what I'm doing in 2024 is it's going to be a way for people to do what we're talking about, start to create passive income, really change their businesses, understand how to do it in a way that creates financial freedom. And if that's something I can help 1, 2, 10, 15 barbers, it don't matter how small the amount. If I can help some barbers to get the foundation and get the framework for that process to happen and then help them to achieve it over the course of time, bro, like, I'm going to feel so good. I'm going to feel so happy helping other people do it. So I'm glad that you even able to see the passion behind that in me.
Yeah. And I want to help you push that program too, man. Just because I know how great and how passionate of a teacher you are, and that you do care to see others succeed. And I had to be honest, this is a true moment right here.
Yeah.
Sometimes I be like, man, Brad making me think. I could be mentally lazy sometimes. I know that's one of my flaws. I could be mentally lazy because I'm such a simplistic person. Not in terms of being a simple person, but some things are just straightforward to me.
Yeah.
But you have a way of making me think and challenging my mind. And I just be like, I don't feel like thinking right now, Brad. But I got to think. I got to think because of how you presented the question or how you presented something to me is like, man, I'm forced to think now. Like, man, Brad, I ain't want to do this today. But I appreciate that about you, though, because it does help me to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. And we all need that. I get the same, I take business classes. I'm still taking courses. I'm still in mentorship programs, like I still do all of this stuff because I'm trying to grow too. I think the moment you stop becoming a student is the worst place you could be.
Yeah. You
have to stay trying to grow, trying to learn, trying to adapt. Because growth is life. Like that's what, if you're not growing, you dying, literally. That's like legitimate life.
We should always be growing.
Gotta be. And so, that's why it's a passion of mine right now to try and help people, man, help people as much as I can. There's so many different resources that people can have. For them to be able to grow and develop in this industry, whether they're barber or beauty professionals. I'll be one outlet that, people will be able to use if they're trying to grow and go the direction I'm trying to go.
Right. Man, that brings me to something. So I sent you something on Instagram earlier, man. It was something that was sent to me by one of our guests. This guy, he did 30 haircuts. I want to say it was like a 9 or 10 hour day. And he took a 1 hour lunch break. Okay. It was pretty fascinating because he did all of these cuts in like the shortest time I seen was 10 minutes. The longest time I seen was 25 minutes. But they were all quality cuts. And I'm gonna have our editor edit this video in there because I want the people on YouTube to see what I'm talking about. So we're gonna play this clip.
Yo, man, y'all check out my 30 cut day. 8:50, I'm preparing, getting mentally right. Here's my first one of the day, man, 9 to 9:10. Nice little burst fade. Second one coming in, little clip over comb action. Third one of the day, man, simple. Beard work, trim on top. Fourth one, you know what it is, low fade. Check this one out. Look at his head, bro. 10 minutes, man. Come on, 10 minutes, you can't beat that. Number 6 right here. I'm coming in strong. Number 7, I love these cuts, man. 2 and the trim on top, I'll take that all day. Number 8, ball fade. Number 9, a little half on the side with an edge up taper. Easy money. Razor work, still getting it in. Number 12, still getting it in. Number 13, smooth. Number 14, man, low taper. Check this one out, man. Number 15. Oh yeah, number 17, man, we're getting them ready for braids, little edge up beard work, or mustache trim. Number 18, from 3 to 3:20. I did take lunch from 2 to 3 p.m. That's why I didn't show any times on me cutting. Number 20, smooth. 4:20, look, beard work, edge up. I do beards too, man. It's not just haircut. Number 23 coming in. Number 24, 10-minute fade. Number 25, yeah, looking really nice. They didn't want to show their face that much, so I kind of blocked them out. Number 28 coming in strong, 29, beard work, edge up, easy money, man. I was like, dang, I thought I didn't hit 30 for the day, but I ended up hitting 30. Here's my last one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like when I seen it, I was like, man, there's no way. Like every single cut was like detailed. I'm like, man, how is he doing this in 10, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And it didn't look like 10, 20 minutes of work. It looked like he really took his time and, went through all of his steps. But I guess when you have a routine like that and you have a system in place and you know exactly what you're doing, you can push out quality in that amount of time. I know for me personally, I can't do it. My brain don't process my steps that quickly. But do you think that's something that is sustainable for somebody to do 20 to 30 haircuts a day for like a 5-day work week without being burnt out?
I think it's up to that individual, man. I think it's up to that individual because some people literally move fast. Like their body moves fast. Yeah. Just how some people talk fast. It's just like, man, slow down, bro. Like I can't hear you. But they can't help it. That's how they move. And I think barbers that can do that, or even beauty stylists. I know some stylists, man, that they would knock people out. Like their cuts, like done in 15 minutes, easy. Oh, wow. Like that's easy. There's this one guy, I forgot his name, but he has a whole technique. I know Diego the barber. He is someone that has taken this guy's class, and now he also teaches this technique. But he's like known for like 5-minute haircuts. Like styles, bro, styles, like not just cutting hair, like styles.
So he doing a cut and style in 5 minutes?
5 minutes, bro. 10 minutes. Like he's killing. I mean, it's long hair, man. Like pixie, some stuff, like all kind of stuff. He's I forgot the name of that guy.
Kind of clip was he cutting with?
Nah, he's shear work.
Oh, it's all shear work?
It's sheer work.
Whoa.
Sheer work, bro. But my point is if you are a speed demon as a barber, I would say don't try and slow down. You're going to make more active money if you can move faster. That's just natural. Even if you it talks about like a goal of 30 minutes for a head or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's a good goal. You know what I mean? That's you get 2 heads in an hour. That's
still pretty quick.
That's very quick. Like that's good. That's good. So trying to get to the 10-minute mark, or now there's always ways to push yourself. There's always ways to push yourself in this industry. And I think those are good things. But this is my only caution with that is as you get better and as you get faster with your cutting skills and your techniques and your completion times, don't lock in on that as if that's the only way that you can make money, or get locked into that as in this is the primary way that you're going to be able to make your money. You still want to be able to get you some passive income at the end of the day. Even if you're making $1,000, $1,500 a day behind the chair, keep that up, but get you some passive income. Get you some passive income. I don't think it's insane. Like it sounds insane, but it don't. Not to me. Like I see that. I can see it. So it's I just say get you some passive income as well, because just as fast as you can make that money is just as fast as you can lose it. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, you're making $5,000 a week, $7,000 a week, $8,000 a week, and then you want to take a week vacation. You think you're just going to comfortably be like, oh, I don't want $8,000 this week? No. So you still going to be stuck behind the chair. Yeah. At the end of the day. And 9 times out of 10, if you making that much money, you feel that money is going to keep coming. So therefore you're going to extend your bills higher. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So your desires are going to grow because you're making more money and you can fulfill more desires. And so as your desires grow, your bills grow, and then your obligation to the chair stays the same. You're going to have to stay stuck behind the chair so that you can make the money so that you can live the life that you want. Yeah. So it don't matter how much
true.
Behind the chair, get you some passive income so that you can supersede your bills.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a deception. I know I've fallen into that a few times. Making more money, and then you start creating more bills, But the real goal should be to make more money and to keep your bills or expenses as low as you can, so that you can keep the most of your money. And then also while having passive income, that's how you build wealth.
Yep. But I would say this, man, like, look at the life that you want, right? Because some people say, oh, you try and lower your bills, and you like, I mean, we could go as broke as you want to go, right?
Right. You still want to live a decent life.
You want to live a decent life, but you should define what that life looks like. You know, as a barber, as a beauty professional, as a person, as a business owner, as a husband, as a wife, as a brother, as a sister, whatever you are, you should look into the life you want to live. Like, are you somebody that wants to take vacations a lot? Are you somebody that likes to travel? Are you somebody that doesn't want to work 4 days a week, 5 days a week? They would prefer to work 2-3 days a week. All of that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, that sounds good, but how much is your life going to cost you? How much is it going to cost you to live where you want to live? How much is it going to cost you to drive the car that you want to drive? How much is it going to cost you to eat the kind of food you want to eat? You know, all of these different things. If you think about it, you start to calculate, what's the life that I really want to live? Because once you identify what the life is that you want to live, then you can try and attack it with your active income as well as your passive income. And you go for that. You shoot for it, because now it's like, okay, it's a game. At that point, it's like, okay, this is what the goal I got. All right. These are probably some of the obstacles that's going to get in my way in achieving this goal. Well, this is how I can create solutions to overcome these obstacles, and I can become successful time and time and time again in my life. So, yeah.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Well, this was a good episode. We don't want to hold you too long. We are going to be back next week with guests. We wanted to take a couple weeks off and just kind of have some heart to heart. Like, we didn't want y'all to forget about who me and Delmar are.
That's
you know,
right.
We are still some elevated barbers trying to help elevate the industry as well. But this is season 2, and we are trying to be true to what we said and bring you quality guests as well. So in 2024, as it comes to a close, as 2023 comes to a close and we move further into 2024, we are going to have more guests, more visitors, some dynamic people that you are going to be like, oh, like they've been really talking to people. Like, yeah, we building connections out here, and we're trying to get you the best that we can. And it's going to be some barbers, but it's also going to be some beauty professionals. We're going to start talking to some beauty professionals that's in this industry that's killing it and can help you all kill it as well. So I don't know. You want to close it out, D?
This is the Prince.
Oh, what's wrong with his voice?
I'm over here choking, man. You got me choked up. I'm over here sounding like Doc Rivers. But nah, this is the Prince with Elevated Barbers Podcast with my co-host Brad, the business-minded barber. We out.
1, 2